Hey everyone, and welcome back. My name is Digital Chaser, back here for another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be explaining on with the TMS shooter template, how to actually add the actor component and how to actually get it set up. Now, right now I'm using the third person template, but you can use this for first person or basically whatever you need. Now, one thing I've noticed is you might want to put an animation to your sliding, but that's in another future video. If you would like to see that, please make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment down below whether or not you would want to see that, bub. And so to get started, with what events we're going to need our event begin play, which you should already have, and event begin on landed and event begin on jumped. Okay. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to do an initialize MC. So we want to go down here to our functions. We want to add initialize MC. We want to get controller. Controller. You want to get your player's controller from first thing you want to do is you want to cast to be player controller, which is just literally basically like your joysticks and stuff. And then you want to get controller. If I can spell, get controller. I want to come off this, want to do NEH, which stands for wait a minute, no, we want to do player sub. Yep. No? I don't forget what this is, but you need to get one of these. You need to get basically this name. I'm sorry. Today's just been a crazy day. And then we want to check see whether or not it is valid. So it is valid. And you want to plug that into your execution pin. And then we want to add an access mapping. And you want the access mapping to be IMC player, the IMC player from TMS inputs. And once you add that, then you want to connect your IMC player to your target. And now that that's done, we want to go out of here. We want to go back to our event. And then off of event begin play. If let's say you have other code, like let's say if I have other code here, I'm just going to make a sequence and do a sequence out to another code. But since this is just there's nothing here for the event begin play, if let's say you do have other code and you want to make it nice and neat, definitely put a sequence in, make it run a whole lot faster. So once I add our IMC, and now that we have our IMC, we can now need to go and we need to do some things. So go to your add and then type in Titan, and it should be BP Titan file movement component. Add that in just like so. You want to drag and drop this in. And now with what we want to do is we want to drag off this. We want to do initialize owner. Initialize owner is basically with what he's created for Titanfall movement. And I'm just going to plug that in as such. And character will be the character movement component. No, sorry. CMC is your character movement component. Character is self. And then camera, it'll be your camera actor, whatever your primary camera actor is. So for mine, it's the first person camera. And then if we want to add player controller, add get player controller. So getting player controller, and now with what do is we want to come out this, do create widget. This is if you want to add his widget. So WBP HUD is his widget. And let's just add it to viewport. Simple as that. Now, the reason why I say put a sequence is because it will run the first code, and if that code fails, it'll run the second code, third code, fourth code, however many basically things you have. And sequences are really good to use for that situation. Now, one thing I am going to do is we could collapse this to a node, and we can call this, so we just right click collapse the node. And let's call this TMS event play or player. So that's the event begin play I'll set up. And let's say if you did have other code, you would just do it like that, nice and neat. You get what I'm saying? So like, it's basically like this 0 would run first, then the second, then the third or fourth, or however many you've added in your pins. I really highly recommend adding sequences for anything that you need to, especially run multiple of. But for this tutorial, we're not going to do that. We're just going to just plug it in as such. Okay, event on landed is a little bit more. It's actually very, very simple. All we need to do is get our Titan file movement component. And we need to do handle on landed. And then you guessed it, for the jump, we need to get our Titan file movement component handled on jumped. So you got on landed, on jumped. Make sure they're plugged into the correct pins. And then compile and save. Now, that is our event on landed. One thing I would do is I would probably do some commenting around all this just so you know with what is what. Now there is one thing else that we're gonna have to add, and that is our Cody timer. Our Cody timer is basically with what allows for this stuff to actually happen. Even the the IMC is what really mostly what allows it. That sounds crazy that the IMC has a lot of importance to it, but it does. It's because the IMC actually controls like basically the player and how it moves and how it functions and things like that. Now, let's add a Cody timer. So let's do event on movement changed. That's what we need. And what we want to do is we want to get our movement component, and let's do handle on, or sorry, handle movement on changed, just like so. Plug this pin into the second, so new movement, and let's plug that in as such. And now that that is done, we should now compile and save. And if we were to go play, we have our lovely code here. And if I start running, our kilometers are going up. And don't know why it's so laggy. Holy cow. And if we try to slide, we start sliding. And if we wall run, we actually wall run. So yeah, if y'all enjoyed today's tutorial, please make sure you like, subscribe, and I will be doing more content just like this one with TMS. It's not really too difficult. It's actually very, very nice setup. The way he's got it now to where it's an actor component, which I absolutely love. And I don't know why it's so laggy. Trying to show it off. All right, yeah, we can show it off this way. So yeah, you could slide. And you'd have to add your sliding animations, but we are indeed sliding. And if we try to wall run, we are indeed wall running. just as such as we should. And we can also grapple. Now this grappling here is not set up for third person. It's mostly set up for your first person camera because it's basically coming out of the first person camera. And basically it's colliding with the, you see it's colliding with the actual character itself. Now that might be a way of fixing that to basically where it won't come out of the camera. There is a way, but if you'd like to see that, please make sure you like and subscribe, and I will definitely do another video on that. But yeah, my name's Digital Chaser. I ain't gonna waste no much more of your time. Stay frosty, everyone. Keep it chill, and yeah, I just figured I'd do this video just to kind of give y'all an idea on what TMS is about, and so y'all can actually understand and things like that. If y'all like to see more content just like this one, please make sure you like and subscribe. My name's Digital Chaser, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.